All right, thank you very much, colleagues, members of the media. Welcome to this Nedbank Cup semi-final press conference as we preview the Soweto Derby, the big Soweto Derby, which takes place on Saturday. We've got Coach Arthur Zwane, who you'll be very much familiar with, Kaizer Chiefs head coach. But most importantly, we've got a special guest today. The first citizen of the Gauteng province, Panyaza Lesufi, joins us here. He'll tell us why he's here shortly, but we'd like to welcome the Premier. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence in this conference. Premier, maybe if I can just start with you, just opening remarks. We saw yesterday the big announcement, the Nedbank Cup final. Coming to the Gauteng province, after a long time, we finally have the Nedbank Cup final. Just your thoughts on that, and the final as well as the big one this coming weekend.
Let me start by thanking you. Thank you so much. Good morning. Let me acknowledge Coach Arthur Zwane. I was asking whether he's forgiven me about what happened on Monday. Indeed confirms that it's forgiven. Let me start by thanking the PSL and the sponsors, Nedbank. We've been lobbying very hard as Gauteng. Before even the first ball was kicked of the Nedbank tournament, we've been lobbying very hard to have this tournament coming back to Gauteng. We are quite aware that since 2020, if I'm not mistaken, this tournament has been outside or hosted outside Gauteng. We feel that it's a misnomer. We're of the view that Gauteng is the home of champions, and we dropped the ball of not vigorously campaigning to have some of these big tournaments coming to Gauteng. And we targeted Nedbank specifically because it's a South African cup. It's not just an ordinary cup. It's a South African cup and it's a gateway to play in Africa. So we felt that if we can knock at appropriate doors, put the necessary pressure, we'll get this tournament in Gauteng. We're quite excited, therefore, when the leadership of PSL as well as the sponsors agreed to bring the tournament here. Already for the semi-final alone, almost 87% of our hospitality sector has already been fully booked, and already there are bookings in some of the hotels and some of the businesses that are buzzing, waiting to host this semi-final this time. So we want to thank PSL once more and thank Nedbank for agreeing to bring this tournament to Gauteng. We will be a good host, I can assure you. We will release all the relevant support that is needed from our law enforcement agencies and ensuring that everyone is safe when they come to the match. And I want to wish Amakhosi Amahle and Orlando Pirates the best over the weekend. Let the best team goes to the final. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Premier. The Premier will be available for questions later on. But maybe if I can move on to the head coach, Coach Arthur Zwane. Just your thoughts heading into this big one on Saturday, obviously against your biggest rivals in South African football, and an opportunity to reach the final, Loftus first round. Just your thoughts heading into that match. Obviously, you've already beaten them twice in the league. How confident are you heading into this one on Saturday?
Yeah, thanks, Malida. First and foremost, let me greet the members of the media and honorable Premier of Gauteng, and look, we all know that games like this, they're always difficult for everyone. They're also unpredictable. So as things stand, I think Pirates are doing very well. We're coming into this game as underdogs. The only thing that's left for us is to redeem ourselves and go into FNB with one thing in our mind, to go there and give our best and make sure that we become victorious.
All right, members of the media, I'll take the first question from the floor. Just by a show of hands, we got a roving microphone on this side. I see Benjamin Miranda.
Benjamin Miranda, Football Live. This is one to the coach, one to the Premier, who is also at a flying day. First to the Premier, as you said, you have been bidding for big games to come to Gauteng. The other time you were launching the Mosepe Foundation, you said you want even Bafana to play all the games in Gauteng, and that has happened. What does that mean to the tourism industry and to the Gauteng sector, to the province itself? And to Coach Arthur, most people believe that when you go, not just now, even when you were playing, before you play the derby, the game before the derby, you normally lose. Most of the time, that time you were losing to Santos. You lost to Santos, but you go to Pirates, you beat them. This time again, it has happened. You have lost to the men next to you. What does it mean psychologically to the players?
Okay, the Premier can go first.
No, I didn't lose to me. I'm here as a Premier. Well, I'm of the strong view. The economy of Gauteng was mainly based on the mines. The mines are gone. So you need a new thing to the economy and create opportunities, create jobs. And sports fit nicely in that narrative. I'm of the view that the new economy is sports. If you check the Formula One, I mean, there are people that have given a big document to us. They want to bring Formula One in Gauteng. There are people that are trying to bring one of the major tennis players to have an exhibition show in Gauteng. And if you check the careers that have been created by sport, in particular football, I mean, we've moved from being just football players. You know, there are doctors there are physios, and many other, there are video analysts. So there is a new economy that is shaping. We just need to create the infrastructure so that we don't deteriorate or go back. I mean, I was taken aback when I was told Masterpieces Mobilizing Stadium in Attersville is not playable, and everyone wants to shut it down. You can't. I told the MEC that pitch must be ready for the next season. We must go all out and sort it out. Makulong Stadium, for example, in Tembisa, if you go there, you'll be embarrassed. The grass is like this because we are told it's on dolomitic ground. So we have said we must go and change it and make it a good investment. We are also investing as a provincial government to create artificial pitches in strategic areas where sport will assist to create talent. So it's just an investment that will boost our economy as a province. And Bafana, we did the same bit. We said all their games must come here and play next to the townships just to create interest. And I was happy that SAFA agreed to that. And all the Bafana qualifying games will be played here in Gauteng, which is a big one. And it includes many other sporting tournaments. So we are determined as Gauteng to bid for this big tournament so that they can create opportunities and create jobs for our people here in Gauteng. Thanks.
Coach Arthur, losing every time before the derby, is it a good omen? I think that's the gist of the question.
Losing every time before the derby counts for nothing, to be quite honest. It's a different ball game altogether. Why I'm saying that, we all know that you can't rely on history. It's how us we're going to apply ourselves, and also what parents are going to bring to us. So it's not going to be an easy game, as I've already told you about.
I saw a hand on this side. Okay, Velile, then Temba. Can you just pass the microphone there? Very good.
Yes, a Premier. Yeah, you were surprised guest was this one. Good morning. I would just like to know, because Gauteng is also perceived not to be drawing crowds like other provinces in terms of spectator mobilization, especially. I mean, if it's not a derby, or if it's not Sundowns opening the gates, we don't really get to see big crowds in Gauteng. So how are you going to assist, not just for this specific game, but also now for Bafana nations? Because there's this, you can see with the Chiefs, they put better crowds away from the province than.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Well, it's investment. If you don't invest in quality, you don't invest in good sporting activities, will not attract. So if we invest, we'll attract. Really, me and you go to, say, Phillies games in Tembisa. It's packed. It's entertainment football. It's investment. You go to Mahlobo games. It's packed. So we just need to strike a balance on how we can just move those supporters that are willing to follow football or other sporting activities to fill our stadiums. But must be patient. I'm always pleased to watch either Sundowns opening gates free and packing the stadiums, whether it responds to the high level of unemployment, the price of the games and other things. I'm not sure. I mean, I went to watch Marumo Gallants because when they were playing to qualify for the semi-final, I personally went to watch them because they're no longer representing Marumo Gallants, they're representing the country. They're in the semi-final of a continental tournament. And I was quite impressed with the turnout there in Rustenburg. It was not a full turnout, but you had supporters that are there doing this. And so we are also enticing, we're preparing a package to entice the teams not to leave Gauteng, especially the Gauteng teams. And I said to the leadership of Kaizer Chiefs, whatever they need, that will make sure that they remain in Gauteng, especially their home games, unless they clash with, because FNB hosts many activities, not football alone, unless it clashes with another activity. But let's encourage Gauteng teams, Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates, and the Super Baits to remain in Gauteng and Super Sport, because we've got almost 8 teams that are based in Gauteng, and we want to support them. I mean, it hurts me and pains me when you play a KZN team. All of them, they've got the KZN supported, and they are proud to carry the name of their province. So we might have been sleeping in Gauteng, but we're here now. We want to invest and ensure that it's not about football alone. The Lions are doing well. You check cricket as well. So we just need to package to ensure that crowds come and crowds support the teams that are here. And sometimes I feel it's unfair for Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, you take almost 25,000 people at FNB. It looks empty. But you take 25,000 in Pitamokawa, it looks full. So we also need to balance that. But I'm quite happy that indeed, finally, after 3 years, the Nedbank Cup is back where it wanted, and I'm convinced it will remain in Gauteng even after the final. It's just that I don't know where, but it will remain in Gauteng after the final.
You win the trophy, but
yes, the trophy. Yes, the trophy.
All right, moving on to Temba Shabalala. Can we just pass on the microphone, please?
Thank you. Temba Shabalala, Joseph from Sports. Premier, you've said this many.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember where it started.
Yeah.
You were quite emotional. I think we Devon MTNA. Yeah, you were quite emotional, and you made it out there that from here on you're declaring war against other municipalities.
Yes.
And thank you for sticking to your words, by the way. Leadership, I just need to find out what took the PSL, Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and all the other teams that have been to actually, bow down to your bid
what made it special, what made it different from the Teguini municipality that we knew that they were going to take this one. And again, the second one would be about the local teams, your Gauteng teams. Is there anything that the Premier is doing under the sports banner that they say we will support our teams financially? Point in case is that probably a team like Richards Bay, they've got Mhlatuza municipality that goes all out to make sure that their team is well taken care of. What are you doing as Gauteng?
So to be quite frank, I humbled myself to the leadership of PSL, and we felt that we should formally, because we're absent. I mean, other provinces are bidding, and we're not there. So we humbled ourselves and presented to the leadership of PSL, and also they felt we respected them. We didn't make any announcement, we just said we want this final. Whether it was going to be Marumo Gallants versus Stellenbosch in the final, we just wanted the final in Gauteng. Because by the time we approached the PSL and Nedbank, we didn't even know who would be in the final. We didn't even know who would be in the semi-finals. We just made a bid to make our presence felt, that Gauteng is ready to host big events. I mean, we've got the facilities. You can choose whatever facility you want. Whether you take it to Loftus, you take it to Orlando, you take it to FNB, you can choose. So we've got those facilities, and I mean, you take the infrastructure that we have in terms of hospitality. We can take almost 3 million people in Gauteng immediately. I mean, the other provinces, you all know, when the final is there, the hotels are full, you can't get proper accommodation. So we've got the facilities, the resources, but we also have the expertise. And we want to showcase Gauteng. Gauteng is a new economic attraction that must be promoted as well. So we're using these facilities or these tournaments as part of that particular program. And we're quite impressed that we can indeed succeed. And I'm happy that both the sponsors and the teams have agreed to play their games here. Thanks.
In the municipality?
Well, the teams that are based in Gauteng, I don't want to burden municipalities. You'll see, as we bid, we really believe it must, when you invest in this kind of new economy, the understanding is minimal. So you don't want to put pressure on municipalities to say, check, you are sponsoring SuperSport, but there is no water or there's no electricity. We have taken the strategic responsibility as a province to be the anchor supporter, so that municipalities must concentrate on their work. And the strategic support that we give, it will be per tournament or per activity or per session. We don't have those resources that we can say every team will give them this X amount of money. For example, we enticed Marumo Gallants to play their last quarterfinal game at Dobsonville. I mean, they're based in Polokwane, but we attracted them, we spoke to them to say, we will give you the support to play your game in Dobsonville. And they appreciated that. For the first time, they said, this government is coming, is appreciating us, and it's supporting us. I mean, as I said, they were playing in Rustenburg. We went to support them as well. I'm leaving tonight. They're playing with Maritzburg, you know my interest. So I'm going to support them even tonight when they play Maritzburg, in Peter Maritzburg. So it's just to build friendship, not on the basis of any other thing, but to ensure that we push the economy of Gauteng and we can support them.
Thank you very much, Premier. We're going to have the Premier again tomorrow at the press conference, so I'll just request that maybe the next 3 questions, let's give it to, let's stick to football now. The Premier will be available tomorrow once more at Red Stadium, so we'll take more questions there as well for the Premier. Next question for Coach Zwane. I see a hand there. Tiseto, City Press.
Yes, thank you very much. Coach, the Orlando Pirates coach has already fired the first warning shot yesterday, saying that Kaizer Chiefs can expect a completely different Orlando Pirates. Just how big, just take us through, how big is this game, given that there's a cup at stake, a lot of stake, Chiefs have not won a cup since 2015?
Thanks for the question. Look, as I said, this is football, very unpredictable. So it's how we're going to approach this game and also their approach against us. And the best team will win on the day. The team that will create the most chances and to take terms and take or convert the chances that will create will definitely win the game.
We'll take the next question. Okay, Kaizer.
Are you worried based on the form that they are coming to this game?
No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Pirates, they've been doing very well. They've won about 6 games on the trot, if I'm not mistaken, and they're losing confidence. They're coming into this game, knowing very well that they're also playing against the Kaizer Chiefs that is wounded. So we'll give our best. So we're also going to FNB, to win the game. Nothing else.
Kaizer.
I'm not going to get tomorrow's press conference because of the prior engagement, so I need to put my question out to Premier, and then I've got one for the coach. Premier, my name is Kaizer from News 24. You mentioned a lot of the facilities that are in the Gauteng province, but how are you at provincial level actually navigating the municipal instability? Because one of the reasons why the Mobilizing Stadium is in the state of disrepair, one will be able to point out to the instability and municipality. I think the same would be applicable to Ekurhuleni. So, how are you guys traversing that particular minefield? And just for the coach, who Maget, Chiefs going to this game on the back of 5-0 against Pirates. What is it that you guys are doing right in the game, in derby games that sometimes can go missing in other matches?
And Premier, maybe just to help.
No, guys.
I'm trying to give him information on Ekurhuleni. There's got 8 grounds, and all of them are not complying with the PSL standards.
Well, fortunately, I come from that area. I know all of them by heart. Zwane Stadium is the only one that at least is being utilized now. Unfortunately, there is no professional league team that is playing in Zwane. It's only the Diski tournament that is played there. Phosphorus Stadiums, it's another stadium that you have a good opportunity to upgrade so that it can be in a better shape. Unfortunately, the Gauteng Stadium has been badly vandalized. It has not been taken care of, including Makudong Stadium. When the Highlands Park was playing Tembisa, Makudong Stadium used to be a very, very good investment. But Masterpiece's Mobilizing Stadium is not only about being an attractive stadium, it's the name that it carries. It carries a heavy name, and this is a legend that is still alive. So you don't subject a legend to such a situation. So the accounting officer for the Department of Sport is there, fortunately. We are investing in ensure that that stadium is back. We're bringing back HMBJ. We're working very closely with Mamelodi Sundowns. The only limitation is that was owned by the municipality, but we listed during the World Cup, 2010 World Cup, to utilize it as a training facility. And after that, it could not be utilized. So we want the municipality to transfer it to us permanent, because you can't invest millions of rands on something that does not belong to you. So if we can get that, we'll be in a position to ensure that we upgrade HMBG. But Orlando Stadium is beautiful. I really believe if either the municipality or Orlando Pirates can invest on the parking arrangements there, it can be a mecca that can make things easier. And the way that people can be transported to enter into the stadium could be something that we can invest on. But indeed, instabilities of municipalities have affected the running of government in our province. And that's why we are moving with speed to stabilize them. Johannesburg is the last one. By Friday, I think they will have the executive mayor. And we'll have all mayors in all our municipalities, and hopefully it will be. But we also have to go at the outskirts. We can't have huge investment concentrated in one area. You take Johannesburg Stadium next to Ellis Park Stadium. I know it's government that took that decision, but if we have Johannesburg Stadium either in the West End or have Johannesburg Stadium either in the Vaal, you have broadened your investment and the footprint of this investment. But be assured, those stadiums that we need them to carry spectators. We will make them ready when we start the new season, the new PSL season. Thanks.
Okay, I'm told we only have 10 more minutes left, so and we still have players as well coming through. So I'm only taking questions for the coach.
Yes, please.
Then we'll then be able to bring in the players quickly so that you can do your one-on-one.
To the coach.
I'm not sure if he still remembers.
No, what have they done right in the 5 derbies that they've won consecutively against Pirates? That has always been a big break on the league.
You know, football, you can't rely more on what you've done in the past. Yes, we've won those games. It talks to preparations, and we got it right. So, as the coach said, you know, from Pirates, that this time around this will be, you know, different Orlando Pirates. So, only time will tell. That's all I can say when it comes to it.
Okay, quick one. I saw Lorenz.
Coach Lorenz from Disneyland. You obviously admitted that a lot of your players have, struggled this season in their first seasons. The first-time players have made mistakes. But you as a coach, you're also in your first season as head coach. What have you learned from this season so far? Because obviously you have made mistakes as well.
Yeah, look, I've learned a lot, to be quite honest. So much, happened in terms of injuries, inconsistency, and chance that we created and missed, and it's part of the game, it's the nature of football, and hence I can't be blaming players because I was once a player, and I also made mistakes, and like you said, I've also made mistakes as a coach in the season because it's part of the game and it's part of learning, and we have moved on from the past mistakes. We thought at some point we have rectified them, but we're still, making those costly mistakes. So yeah, the only best thing that you can do is to focus on the next game and forget about, the past, because the past will not help us right now. As much as we lost the game, the previous game that we played in Uruguay, but I think we created enough chances to win the game, and we were slow in defending. We gave them, I think, about 2 or 3 opportunities to punish us, and they managed to get 2. And yeah, Itu made maybe 1 brilliant save, and if you look at the game, could have done better in terms of creating chances and have more mobility in front of the goals. And we had a lot of box entries as well, about 26. And at one stage the position was 78, but said, as you know, also you can have position for the whole day. As long as you don't score goals, it counts for nothing.
Tabo, quick one for the coach.
Thanks, Tabo coach. Tabo from ENC. How badly will the team miss Keegan Dolly? Looking at the fact that he has never lost a derby, he's been on the winning side in all the previous derbies that he has played.
Thanks a lot, Bratsepo. Look, we miss all the players that have been out injured, not only Keegan. More especially when we are looking for chemistry. I think we started the season, promising, hoping by this time of the season, in terms of identity and the way we want to approach games, to be clearer. Unfortunately, we had a lot of injuries to key players and suspensions and unforeseen circumstances that we couldn't control, that were beyond our control. And now we have to jump and change the team. At some point, we have to play with the makeshift, defense. And yeah, it's been an unfortunate season for us. As I said, it was the most difficult season ever since I've been here. It was because of that, the injuries were uncontrollable, and some of them were happening in training, and we couldn't control that. And when you go into the game as well, in one game you lose 2 players, so it became a worrying factor. And at some point we're getting things right to win 2 games in a row, and you lose 3 players. So yeah, it's been the story of our season, but we can't dwell on that. We have to move on. We have to come up with a solution. We have to come up with a new plan to make sure that we accommodate everyone. And of course, we also have other players, though some of them have been playing regularly. So you must have seen we've given her PG as well to, bring back his confidence. So yeah, but we lost to Panyaza. So, but the good thing was the guys, they executed themselves very well, though we lost. Not only the game before, I think we showed a lot of character against Chipa. I just hope the guys will show the very same character and discipline and tactical endurance against Orlando Pirates.
Okay, last one, Kabu.
Coach, the battle for number 2 is slowly slipped out of your hands, but in terms of playing continental football for CAF Champions League, but you still have a chance in a form of Nedbank Cup. But then in previous game, like you said, you have lost. But then what do you say to your players to uplift, going into this encounter against Orlando Pirates, because there's a lot at stake. It's semi-final of the Nedbank, and it's a chance for you to book your ticket to Loftus in a quest to win the trophy, for you to be like Marumo Gallants to play in the CAF Confederations Cup. So what then do you say to your players to uplift them, motivate them going into this encounter against Orlando Pirates?
Look, it's how you come back after a setback. For us to lose against Swallows FC was a setback, but we have learned from it and we move on. We have moved on from it, and now we're thinking about Orlando Pirates. And I hear a lot of people saying, even the first question from the big man there, when he asked me players' mindset in terms of we usually lose the game before the big game against Orlando Pirates. I think, yes, in terms of stats, it's there for everyone to see. But for me, those are more like perceptions. Why I'm saying that? Because I don't think there's any professional player that is part and parcel of Kaizer Chiefs that would want to lose the game before the big one. I think that should be the game that boosts your confidence, that helps you, to be ready mentally and physically for the game of Orlando Pirates. Multitude, as you know, everyone is looking forward to this game, and for the fact that for a very long time Chiefs and Pirates, they've never been in the clash in the semi-final. So yes, we come into this game as underdogs, as I said earlier on. Why? Because Pirates have been doing very well, and we've been blowing hot and cold. So the players, they know what is at stake. This is one game that doesn't need me as a coach to motivate them. Kaizer Chiefs, they've won this cup 19 times, and one of them, I think I played against Orlando Pirates as a player. That was 2006. We won it on penalties, and we definitely want to win it for the 20th. And that will be good for the team and for the history of the club as well, and more especially the players that are new into the setup, to finish the season on a high, since we had a difficult season. So that will be very, very good for our supporters, for all the stakeholders, the people that have been there through thick and thin, supporting the club. So, and that will be a good build up also for next season.